You're about to see places that human eyes were never meant to witness. Places so dangerous, so mysterious, so impossibly strange that they break every rule of nature we think we understand. Look, the world is filled with beauty. Mountains, oceans, deserts, forests. But what if I told you there are places so forbidden, so deeply unsettling, that stepping into them feels like crossing a boundary between Earth and something else entirely? These locations aren't just remote or hard to reach. They exist at the intersection of science and nightmare, places where the natural world behaves in ways that simply shouldn't be possible. And today, you and I are going to walk straight into the heart of those forbidden zones. But before we go any further, I need you to pay attention, because what you're about to learn isn't just fascinating, it's deeply unsettling. By the time we reach the end, you might never look at this planet the same way again, and you might even question whether everything we've been taught about Earth's past is the full truth. Let's begin our journey with a place that scientists still argue about today. In the middle of the icy Siberian wilderness, hidden between layers of fog and silence, lies the Gateway to Hell. That's not a nickname invented by tourists. It's the name given by the locals who've lived beside it for generations. Officially, it's called the Batagaika crater, but stepping near the edge feels like the ground is alive, like the earth beneath your feet is slowly peeling open. The crater is more than a kilometer long and continues growing every year. You'd think it's just erosion or melting permafrost, but the strange thing is what happens inside. As the earth collapses, ancient forests emerge, fully preserved trees, animals, and even the remains of creatures that scientists still can't categorize. It's like the past is being dragged into the present, piece by piece. You stand there, staring into its depths, and realize you're looking into a time capsule Earth never intended to open. And if that doesn't disturb you, this will. The deeper the crater grows, the more reports emerge of low-frequency vibrations at night, echoes that travel through the ground, almost like the planet itself is groaning. Scientists attribute it to shifting ice and collapsing soil, but they've measured frequencies that don't quite match known geological patterns, and that's only the beginning. Now imagine this. You're walking along a pristine lake surrounded by untouched forest. The water looks like glass, calm, crystal clear, almost inviting. But beneath the surface lies something horrifying. This is Lake NEXARIN in Tanzania, a place of beauty and death. The moment birds fly too close to its surface, their wings harden, their bodies calcify, and they fall like statues. Small animals that touch the water freeze mid-motion, preserved in stark white shells of salt and minerals. It looks like a gallery of ancient sculptures, except these sculptures were once alive. Scientists explain that the water has an extremely high pH level, close to 10.5, comparable to ammonia, and temperatures that can reach up to 60 degrees Celsius. But here's the strange twist. A specific species of fish, the Alcolapia alcalica, lives comfortably inside this deadly lake. A living creature thriving in conditions that should be impossible. When nature contradicts itself, you know something bigger is at play. It feels like a reminder that Earth is capable of far more terrifying wonders than we can understand. And humans visiting this place, strongly discouraged. One accidental splash on your skin could cause severe chemical burns requiring immediate medical attention. But if Lake NEXARIN feels unsettling, what comes next is worse. Deep inside Venezuela's Canaima National Park lies a storm that never ends, a thunderstorm that has been raging for centuries. Imagine standing on the edge of a river and watching the sky explode with lightning, over and over, without a single break. This is the Catatumbo lightning, Earth's only permanent lightning storm. Nearly 300 days a year, 10 hours per night, up to 280 lightning strikes per hour. Scientists have studied it for years, and while they attribute it to methane rising from the marshes and unique topography, the full mechanism remains debated. The local tribes believe the storm is a message from the gods, a warning not to enter the surrounding mountains. And even modern researchers admit something strange happens there. Electromagnetic interference disrupts compass readings and radio signals within a certain radius. The magnetic field around the storm behaves erratically, almost like the atmosphere itself is charged with intent. It's beautiful to look at from a distance, but if you try to get too close, pilots say the turbulence is unlike anything else on Earth. They avoid the region not because of weather patterns, but because the air behaves unpredictably, as if the sky itself is trying to keep people out. But maybe it's not the sky you should fear. Maybe it's what hides beneath. There is a place in Turkmenistan known simply as the Door to Hell, a massive burning crater that has been on fire for more than 50 years. You stand at its edge, and you feel the heat on your skin as flames roar upward like the breath of some ancient beast. The story goes that Soviet scientists accidentally opened it while searching for natural gas deposits. To prevent the spread of toxic fumes, they set it on fire, expecting it to burn out within a few days. But it didn't. It never stopped. Half a century later, it still burns. Relentless, ghastly, eternal. And here's what most people don't know. Scientists have lowered special instruments into the crater, only to find extremophile microorganisms thriving inside living organisms surviving in temperatures that should kill them instantly. Think about that. Life inside fire. Every time science draws a line on what life can or cannot handle, Earth steps forward and erases it. But if this place wants to burn forever, why? What lies deeper beneath the flames? And why is the ground around the crater slowly sinking due to ongoing erosion and collapse, as if the Earth is still adjusting to this wound? Not all forbidden places burn with fire. Some freeze with silence. At the very bottom of Antarctica, hidden beneath 4,000 meters of ice, lies Lake Vostok, one of the largest and most untouched lakes on the planet. This lake has been sealed away from the world for at least 15 million years. No sunlight, no air, no contact with the outside world. When scientists drilled into the ice to take samples, the water that shot up was so pure, so ancient, that it didn't resemble anything on Earth today. Some researchers found microbial life similar to known extremophiles, but the isolation raises questions. What else evolved down there? A completely isolated ecosystem that evolved on its own, untouched by human history. Think about what that means. If life exists there, and evidence suggests it does, it evolved in total isolation since before humans existed, before mammals existed, before many continents took their modern shape. But if something has been sealed away for millions of years, should we even be opening it? Some scientists say no, because disturbing an ecosystem that old isn't just intrusive, it's dangerous. We don't know what kind of life exists there. We don't know how it behaves. And most importantly, we don't know if it wants to be disturbed. Now imagine a place so silent, so isolated, and so perfectly preserved that it feels like stepping into a frozen moment in time. The Surtsey Island in Iceland is one of the only places on Earth absolutely banned to all humans, except a tiny group of scientists. This island rose from the ocean during a volcanic eruption in the 1960s and has been left untouched to study how life begins. No humans may step there because even a footprint could disrupt the natural evolution of the island. Imagine an entire world that's developing without us. No roads, no trash, no buildings, no noise, no human fingerprints. Pure Earth. Raw Earth. A world in its earliest stage of life. Scientists discovered that life immediately began to appear. Birds, insects, plants. But here's the unsettling part. They also found bacteria and organisms on the island that arrived via wind and ocean currents, evolving rapidly in this sterile environment. If untouched Earth naturally produces forms of life we're still cataloging, then what else might exist out there, hidden in places we're not allowed to go? But sometimes forbidden places aren't created by explosions or storms. Sometimes they are created by silence. In the Himalayan region of Uttarakhand, India, lies a lake that freezes over every winter, a beautiful lake surrounded by mountains. But when the ice melts, hundreds of human skeletons appear beneath the surface. This is Rupkund Lake, also called Skeleton Lake. For decades, no one understood who these people were or how they died. Their bones are scattered along the bottom, preserved by cold water. Some show injuries caused by massive hailstones. DNA tests reveal something even stranger. The bodies belong to groups from the 9th century, killed in a single catastrophic storm. It's as if something in that valley strikes without warning. Locals believe the lake is sacred. Scientists say it's a natural disaster. But here's the unsettling truth. The valley shows signs of repeated extreme weather events. Something happened there, something that leaves no survivors. Now, before we reach the final forbidden place, let me take you somewhere you've definitely heard of, but probably never understood: Area 51. Yes, the secretive American military base. But forget aliens for a moment. What's truly forbidden here isn't what's stored inside. It's what lies beneath. Satellite images show massive underground entrances, air vents miles apart, strange triangular structures that look like heat, exhausts from deep subterranean chambers. And former workers claim the underground levels go far deeper than the public knows. Some say up to 30 floors. Whatever is down there, it's not simply aircraft. And what's stranger, the ground around the area produces unusual electromagnetic readings. Compass needles bend, electronics malfunction, even birds avoid flying overhead. It's almost as if the land itself is being manipulated or protected. If you want to know what's really under Area 51, hit subscribe now. Part 2 is coming, but now we come to the last forbidden place. The one that ties everything together. A place so mysterious, so unreachable, that even satellites fail to capture clear images. A place at the bottom of the world. Point Nemo. The most remote location on Earth. The farthest point from any landmass. No humans, no ships, no islands, no life. But the ocean beneath it hides something enormous. The deepest part of the Pacific, where strange signals have been recorded. Signals that sound like creatures larger than any whale. And then there's the bloop, a sound recorded near Point Nemo in 1997, loud enough to be heard across an entire ocean. Scientists said it was ice cracking, and in 2005, NOAA confirmed it was an ice quake, not biology. A living organism of impossible size was ruled out. And here's where it gets even stranger. Point Nemo is also home to the spacecraft graveyard, where nations dump their dead satellites and space stations. Why? Because nothing survives there. Not ships, not planes, and maybe not even humans. If there's any place on Earth hiding something truly alien, whether from our world or not, it's here. And after seeing all this, one question remains. Why does our planet hide so many forbidden places? Maybe nature is simply more powerful than we realize. Maybe some ecosystems are too fragile. Or maybe, just maybe, Earth is older, stranger, and more alive than we ever imagined. And these places, these forbidden zones, are reminders that we are not masters of this world. We are guests. And some rooms in this ancient house were never meant for us. So next time you look at a map, remember, the blank spaces aren't empty. They're forbidden. And somewhere right now, the Earth is breathing beneath our feet. If you want Part 2, what's really under Area 51, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell. It drops in 7 days. You won't sleep after this one. Welcome to the forbidden side of Earth.